Here is a combined summary of the 2 pages from the research paper. The paper introduces the concept of identity-driven hierarchical role-playing agents, which leverage large language models to achieve role-playing. Existing methods, such as prompt-based strategies and fine-tuning methods, have limitations in terms of precision and flexibility. To address these limitations, the authors propose a hierarchical identity role-playing framework, HIRPF, based on identity theory, which constructs complex characters using multiple identity combinations. The framework is inspired by the idea that individuals possess multiple identities, such as familial and occupational identities, which shape their behavior and interactions. By modeling these identities, the framework can achieve a balance between flexibility and precision in role-playing. The authors develop an identity dialogue dataset for this framework and propose an evaluation benchmark, including scale evaluation and open situation evaluation. The HIRPF constructs and integrates identities from diverse categories, such as personality traits and professions, to offer a versatile role-playing solution. The framework addresses 2 main challenges: organizing and accurately modeling diverse identities, and ensuring controllable and flexible integration of these identities. To achieve this, the authors employ identity isolation, which includes intralevel and interlevel isolation, and explicit control using hard masking and soft routing. The authors also introduce a specialized identity dialogue dataset, which includes 20,685 multi-turn role-playing dialogues for singular and multiple identities. They develop a model for identity-level role-playing by fine-tuning Llama 2 chat on this dataset. The performance of the model on the proposed benchmark demonstrates better identity-level fitting capabilities and potential for application in social simulation. The contributions of the paper are threefold: proposing the hierarchical identity-level role-playing framework, introducing a specialized identity dialogue dataset, and developing a systemic benchmark for identity-level role-playing evaluation. The paper has implications for fields such as psychotherapy, economics, and social studies, where role-playing agents can be applied to improve human interactions and decision-making processes. The Hierarchical Identity Role-Playing Framework, HIRPF, is a novel architecture designed to model compatibility between identities, enabling flexible and controllable fusion of identities. HIRPF ensures identity isolation via intralevel and interlevel separation and uses control routers in each block to update only activated identities during training. The framework consists of a backbone model with multiple blocks, each representing a different category of identities. Identities within each category are inserted alternately into blocks, reducing the number of parameters while distinguishing different categories of identities. To model compatibility between identities, HIRPF achieves explicit control through a gate mechanism. Given the identities to be activated in a block, the updated attention parameters are derived using a diagonal mask matrix, ensuring that only the weights for the active identities remain positive and influence the model's output. During training, HIRPF receives dialogues and associated active identities, and role prompts are constructed from these identities, combined with the dialogue, and tokenized before model input. The Identity Dialogue Dataset is a novel dataset that includes dialogues featuring individual personality traits, professions, and multiple identities. The dataset is constructed using a pipeline that involves occasion generation, plot generation, and dialogue generation. Dialogues are generated for single personality traits, single professions, and pairwise combinations of personality traits and professional identities. The dataset is re-annotated to ensure that the dialogues accurately reflect the requested identities. The benchmark for evaluating identity-level agents includes scaled tests and open-ended situation tests. The scaled tests assess the fit of each identity, including personality scale and profession scale. The personality scale uses the BF marker 10033, while the profession scale is modeled after the personality scale. The open-ended situation test evaluates the accuracy of multi-identity fusion by engaging the agent in multiple rounds of dialogue to elicit detailed responses about each item. The statistical results of the dataset show that it consists of 20,685 samples, with an average of 9.52 turns, 11.59 words per response, and 220.67 words per dialogue. The average number of active identities is 1.67. The benchmark results demonstrate the effectiveness of HIRPF in modeling compatibility between identities and achieving controllable fusion of identities. The proposed framework, HIRPF, is evaluated through a series of experiments, including single trait simulations, single profession simulations, and open-ended situational tests. In single trait simulations, the results show that HIRPF outperforms baseline models, including Llama 27B Chat and Llama 38B Instruct, in accurately representing single personality polarities. HIRPF also surpasses ChatGPT in depicting most personality traits, especially negative ones. This advantage is attributed to the limitations of ChatGPT's ethical and moral frameworks, which hinder its ability to accurately express negative traits. In single profession simulations, HIRPF consistently achieves the highest fidelity scores in dimensions consistent with the professions and markedly lower scores in non-professional dimensions. This distinction demonstrates that HIRPF not only excels in accurately fitting into specific occupational roles but also effectively discriminates between different professional identities. The open-ended situational test assesses whether an agent accurately represents the required identity and performance. The results reveal that HIRPF achieves superior accuracy in simulating the trait of agreeableness, outperforming ChatGPT. The test involves 8 distinct scenarios, each corresponding to a specific trait and profession, and evaluates the agent's ability to express various character identities in a given situation. The experimental setup involves fine-tuning HIRPF on top of Llama 27B Chat using the identity dialog dataset. The alpha and beta of the LoRa method are set to 16, and the learning rate is set to 1 × 10⁻⁴. The model is trained for 5 epochs on 8 NVIDIA RTX 4090 GPUs. The results are compared with baseline models, including Llama 27B Chat, Llama 38B Instruct, and ChatGPT. The findings suggest that HIRPF is effective in simulating specific professions and personality traits, and its ability to distinguish between different professional identities is critical in applications requiring accurate role portrayal and differentiation. The limitations of ChatGPT's ethical and moral frameworks are highlighted, and the results demonstrate the potential of HIRPF in training simulations, automated customer service, and interactive educational systems. Here is a combined summary of pages 7 and 8. The proposed hierarchical identity role-playing framework integrates LoRa and Mo technologies, enabling identity isolation and explicit control for authentic and flexible role-playing. The framework is evaluated through scale and open situation assessments, demonstrating its effectiveness in simulating multiple identities. Notably, it outperforms traditional prompt-based approaches and matches or surpasses ChatGPT in certain performance metrics. An ablation study validates the efficacy of identity isolation and explicit control within the framework, highlighting the contribution of these key features. The study also compares the framework with role-specific models, emphasizing its focus on demographic effects in broad social simulations rather than detailed role simulations. The framework's applications in social simulations are demonstrated through questionnaire and debate scenarios. For instance, it can simulate various demographic groups to predict responses to social issues or policies. Additionally, it enables the simulation of group interactions, providing insights into differences, testing communication strategies, and offering a safe environment for exploring conflict resolution. The related work section discusses the evolution of role-playing agents powered by large language models, including the use of sophisticated prompting strategies and role-specific datasets for supervised fine-tuning. It also explores recent advancements in mixture of experts models and their applications in social simulation. The conclusion highlights the framework's potential for advanced social simulation, distinguishing itself from role-specific fine-tuned models. This framework aims to accurately simulate specific groups by integrating demographic role-fitting and retrieval enhancement technology, utilizing detailed personal information, biographies, and memories. While the proposed framework is designed to facilitate role-playing at the identity level, focusing on personality and occupation, limitations arise from the reliance on ChatGPT data, differing from real conversation data. Future work will incorporate real conversation data to bridge this gap and enhance realism. The ethics statement ensures the framework's data is devoid of personal privacy concerns, free from individual biases, and toxic information. References from social psychology, computer science, and related fields emphasize the significance of role-playing in social interaction, identity, and performance. Further discussions and acknowledgments from notable researchers provide a comprehensive foundation for this work, showcasing recent advancements in the field, such as generative agents, character-based large language models, and conversational AI with personalized social support. Benchmarking, eliciting, and enhancing role-playing abilities of large language models demonstrate ongoing research in the area. In exploring the psychological underpinnings, personality traits like openness to experience, conscientiousness, and extroversion, comprising the Big Five personality framework, offer reliable assessment scales for measuring personality. Understanding the complexities of individual differences is crucial in this research. Appendices detail the personality theory and framework used, focusing on 5 key personality traits, allowing researchers to analyze correlations between factors such as openness, neuroticism, agreeableness, and extroversion, enhancing comprehension of social interactions. However, there is room for further improvement. Researchers suggest adopting multi-expert techniques to ensure adequate parameter fine-tuning. Utilizing transfer learning in model architectures offers promise, promoting substantial reduction of large-scale parameter requirement while incorporating collaboration mechanisms. Continuing along the framework proposed and keeping informed with newly developing results would demonstrate strong performance while aiding toward realizing successful practical solutions, significantly transforming areas including language learning. The research paper discusses the relationship between personality traits and language generation. Agreeableness is characterized by a propensity to appreciate kindness, tradition, and conformity, and is closely linked to attributes such as trust, altruism, and prosocial behaviors. Neuroticism, on the other hand, is a personality trait characterized by manifestations of sadness, moodiness, and emotional instability. The paper presents the results of ablation experiments, which involve evaluating the performance of different models on various personality scales and profession scales. The results of the ablation experiments are presented in Tables 3, 4, and 5. Table 3 shows the results of the personality scale, where the models are evaluated on their ability to generate text that reflects different personality traits, such as agreeableness, conscientiousness, extroversion, neuroticism, and openness to experience. The results show that the proposed model, ArXiv, outperforms the baseline models, Llama 2 Identity, and HIRPF, on most of the personality traits. Table 4 presents the results of the profession scale, where the models are evaluated on their ability to generate text that reflects different professions, such as artist, doctor, and programmer. The results show that the proposed model outperforms the baseline models on most of the professions. Table 5 presents the results of the open-end situation test, where the models are evaluated on their ability to generate text that reflects different personality traits in a given situation. The results show that the proposed model outperforms the baseline models on most of the personality traits. The paper also presents the prompts used for plot generation and dialogue generation for single personality traits. The prompts are designed to elicit text that reflects the personality traits of the characters in the conversation. The instructions for the prompts are provided, including the format for the output and the tone of the conversation. The results of the ablation experiments demonstrate the effectiveness of the proposed model in generating text that reflects different personality traits and professions. The paper highlights the importance of considering personality traits in language generation and provides a framework for evaluating the performance of different models on this task. The research paper presents a novel approach to generating realistic and engaging dialogues for a given profession. The authors provide a set of instructions for designing plot themes that involve a professional, referred to as A, interacting with another individual, referred to as B. The instructions outline 2 scenarios. One where the conversation revolves around topics relevant to A's profession and another where the conversation delves into topics outside A's professional expertise. The authors specify that the conversation should be initiated by B and should unfold naturally within a concise limit of 200 or 400 words, depending on the scenario. The output is expected to be in a specific JSON format. The authors also provide an example of a prompt used for plot generation for a single profession, which includes a plot abstract in a JSON format. The paper also introduces an open-end situation test, where a scenario is presented, and a non-player character, NPC, setting and prompt are provided. The scenario involves a culturally diverse team member proposing an unconventional project idea at a workshop. The NPC prompt is designed to elicit a response from the participant. The author's approach is notable for its focus on realism and natural conversation flow. The use of a casual and lifelike tone, reflecting everyday human communication, is a key aspect of the approach. The authors also emphasize the importance of introducing topics step by step and avoiding direct questions related to quality. The significance of this research lies in its potential to generate realistic and engaging dialogues for various professions, which can have applications in fields such as education, training, and human-computer interaction. The author's approach can be used to create simulated conversations that mimic real-world interactions, allowing for more effective training and evaluation of professionals.